Hi, nice to meet you. Well, it was really a lot of fun. It's fun to get the energy from the crowd and get the spirit of all the people here in Minnesota. We're running to govern for the people of Minnesota and really represent their best interests in St. Paul.
A better Minnesota! Vote for Bader! A better Minnesota! Vote for Bader! A better Minnesota!
Joining us for the first time is Denise Bader. Denise is the DFL endorsed candidate running for Minnesota House District 33B. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Denise works for Delta Airlines as an interpreter and lives in Mound. And I asked you off air, interpreter of what?
I'm the French interpreter for Delta, and I interpret in their homeland security when international flights come in.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to just tell our viewing audience a little bit about District 33B. It includes parts of Carver County, half of Chanhassen, and a number of wonderful Lake Minnetonka cities: Mound, Excelsior, Shorewood, Tonka Bay, and others.
Well, I've lived in Mound for over 15 years, and I just love the community. Right by Lake Minnetonka. My kids all go to the Mound Westonka High School, and in fact, I just had 2 girls graduate this last June and going off to college.
I'm going to St. Olaf College, Minneapolis College of Art and Design.
Mound Westonka.
I've been very blessed with a lot of kids in my life. Well, I've had 5 foreign exchange students. Actually, Marumba is the 6th foreign exchange students that I've had from YFU. But I've also taken in 7 other kids from the community that at the time of their life needed a home that was safe and a place to live. And they've stayed with me either 8 months or, like Ashley said, up to 9 years.
Now, you're going to be running against the right-wing Republican endorsed candidate Cindy Pugh. She's the co-founder of the Southwest Metro Tea Party. Is that right?
That's true. Yep.
I know you've done some thinking about the Tea Party. What, in your estimation, would America look like if the Tea Party seized control?
Well, the Tea Party stands on just their limited view on what the Constitution means. And the world under Tea Party rule would mean that people would have to mortgage their homes in order to take care of mother's last days. They would reserve higher education just for those who could afford it, the very rich. That would eliminate Stafford loans and Pell Grants for middle-class families. It would also mean that rotten meat shipped to grocery stores would have no federal oversight for food safety. And then they want to do the collective bargaining, or they want to eliminate collective bargaining for public workers. And when you look at the wage drops in states that have that, it'd be like going back to Mississippi, where fathers are competing with their teenage sons and daughters for minimum wage jobs.
Eliminate unions, in other words.
Yep, and when we eliminate unions, what we see is that wages fall everywhere in the state.
No question about that. It would just be awful.
It's not good for Minnesota, and it doesn't seem to be what Minnesotans want when I'm talking to them at the door.
So you're standing up against the Tea Party in this election.
Yeah.
And what can the viewing audience do to assist you in that effort?
Well, this is what I'm telling a lot of people that say, well, that's not really my district. I don't really have to worry what's happening in 33B. The problem is when we have someone like Michelle Bachmann or an extremist like Cindy Pugh, it hurts all of Minnesota.
I walk in the parades and carry signs and wear t-shirts and recruit friends. It's kind of funny seeing her signs all around town and seeing her name everywhere and having everybody saying how proud they are, saying they're going to vote for her every time they see me.
Well, my parents were missionaries in Madagascar for 35 years. My dad built schools in rural areas, and my mother was a nurse. Every time we moved to a new area to build a school with my dad, my mother would set up a clinic in our house. So one of the bedrooms was a functioning clinic where she would treat everything from broken bones to wounds to giving birth to babies. Growing up in a third world country, Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world. There's no infrastructure. There's very little access to health care. Parents have to scrape together funds to send their kids even to first and second and third grade.
Come here.
In the process of that, I was sent to boarding schools to get a European-style education. I went to the American school, which is in Fort-Dauphin, Madagascar, and then in Kenya, in 1981, I went to Rift Valley Academy in Kijabe, Kenya. For 4 years, I was really integrated into the Kenyan life, just loved the culture, and people are so welcoming, and I've kind of brought that same culture back to my house, where I now have an open door policy and I welcome people into my house. One of the things I learned growing up in Madagascar was that there's two really critical things to success in a community, and that is education and access to health care. Cindy Pugh, unfortunately, she has put her loyalty with people like Michelle Bachmann, and I just think she's too extreme for this district. This is not the way Minnesotans feel. They want to make sure that we invest in our schools, that we don't make decisions that are going to undermine our schools, that we invest in our infrastructure. And Cindy Pugh's message is all about cut, cut, cut. I think it's time for a fresh face, somebody with new ideas, somebody that's willing to work across the aisle and come up with the best ideas to finally govern for the people of Minnesota.
Denise Bader is the fiscally conservative Democrat running for House District 33B. Denise, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's a wrap. We'll see you next time.
Democratic Visions is handmade by volunteers through DFL Senate District 48, Eden Prairie and Minnetonka. Lori Pryor, Chair.